know you take good care of Meadow, Paul's daughter.
She takes good care of me. To see her with my children is one of the most beautiful things.
This is Vin Diesel. You know him as Dominic Toretto, but he means much more to Meadow Walker. Many people have come up with wild theories. Has Vin replaced Meadow's father, or could they have developed a romantic relationship? Their silence makes you wonder. Are they hiding something, or is this just a misunderstanding? After all these years, Paul Walker's daughter has finally revealed Vin Diesel's secret. This is the story of their strong bond. Meadow's connection to Fast and Furious. Meadow was born in Los Angeles, California, on November 4, 1998. She is the only child of actor Paul Walker and Rebecca Soteros. Her mother raised her in Hawaii to keep her from the spotlight. Meadow enjoyed her childhood on the islands, where the ocean and nature were her playmates. When Meadow was 13, she wanted to be closer to her dad. In 2011, she moved to California to live with Paul. This change brought her into Hollywood, where Paul was famous for his role in the Fast and Furious movies. The first film came out when she was just a year old, and she soon found herself on set with actors like Vin Diesel, Jordana Brewster, and Michelle Rodriguez. In a later reflection, she said, "I grew up on set watching my father, Vin, Jordana, Michelle, Chris, and more on the monitors." To Paul, Meadow was everything. He often said she made him a better person and changed how he viewed life. Her love for simple joys grounded him amid his busy career. Even with his fame, he prioritized being a father, cherishing quiet time with her. In November 2013, tragedy struck when Paul's life ended in a car accident. Meadow was only 15. She had just begun to build a strong bond with him, and losing him was overwhelming. Her mother and relatives came to California to support her during this difficult time. Vin Diesel reached out, offering love and strength to the Walker family. Jordana Brewster and Michelle Rodriguez also showed their support, sharing fond memories and heartfelt messages. One special connection was with Vin Diesel. Paul had chosen Vin to be Meadow's godfather, which showed their deep bond. After Paul's death, Vin took on a protective role for Meadow. He expressed, "I feel very protective. It goes beyond the movie." A touching moment in their relationship happened in October 2021 when Meadow married actor Louis Thornton Allen. Vin walked her down the aisle in place of her father. This was significant, as Meadow chose Vin's eldest daughter as her maid of honor, showing how close their families had become. Meadow is proud of her connection to the Fast and Furious family. Vin's commitment to her reflects the values Paul lived by and instilled in her. The life of Paul Walker. Before Paul Walker became a star in movies like Fast and Furious, he was just an ordinary boy. He showed signs of greatness early. Paul was born on September 12, 1973, in Glendale, California. He grew up in a competitive family. His father, Paul Walker III, was a successful amateur boxer and won 2 Golden Gloves championships. His grandfather, William Walker, also boxed and loved car racing, a sport that would become one of Paul's biggest passions. As a young child, Paul stood out. While most toddlers took their first steps, Paul was in front of a camera at age 2. One of his first jobs was in a Pampers commercial. By the early 1980s, he appeared in TV ads and guest spots on popular shows. He quickly gained attention. By his teenage years, he was already known in the entertainment industry. His first significant role was in 1984 on CBS School Break Special, an educational series. Over the next 10 years, he took guest roles in shows like Highway to Heaven, Charles in Charge, and Who's the Boss? His big break came in 1993 when he joined the soap opera The Young and the Restless as Brandon Collins. He was nominated for the Youth in Film Awards alongside co-star Heather Tom. After years in television, Paul wanted to act in films. His early projects were low-budget movies like Monster in the Closet and Tammy and the T-Rex, which didn't highlight his potential. However, he showed his talent. By the late 1990s, he began getting supporting roles in bigger films. In 2001, everything changed when he starred in The Fast and the Furious as Brian O'Connor, an undercover cop in illegal street racing. Co-starring with Vin Diesel, the film became a huge success and started a popular franchise. Paul became a household name. He returned for Too Fast, Too Furious 2003, but surprised fans by not being in the third film. Some wondered if he was done with the franchise, but he returned in 2009 with Fast and Furious. From then on, he was a key character in the series, appearing in Fast 5 and Fast and Furious 6, both big hits. Paul had many other interests. He was an entrepreneur. In 2012, he founded Laguna Ridge Pictures and made a deal with Universal Pictures. Cars were important to him. He didn't just act like he loved cars, he truly did. He raced in the Red Line Time Attack series, driving a BMW E92 M3 for AE Performance. He also owned a car shop called Always Evolving and had a personal collection of over 30 cars. His love for cars was matched by his desire to help others. After an earthquake struck Haiti in 2010, Paul took action and founded Reach Out Worldwide, a disaster relief organization that helped victims of natural disasters. His commitment to helping others was as strong as his passion for speed. But how did Paul become so close to Vin Diesel? Looking back at the life of Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel was born Mark Sinclair on July 18, 1967 in Alameda County, California. He grew up in New York City. His acting journey started at age 7 when he and his friends entered a theater. The director, Crystal Field, offered them a deal: join a play, and she wouldn't call the police. Diesel worked as a nightclub bouncer to support himself. He took on the name Vin Diesel, using his stepfather's last name and a nickname from friends. Getting into Hollywood was tough. Agents thought he was too ambiguous for roles. Instead of waiting for chances, Diesel made his own by writing, directing, and acting in a short film called Multifacial. This film helped him get roles in Boiler Room and Pitch Black, where he played Riddick. In 2001, Diesel became popular as Dominic Toretto in The Fast and the Furious, along with Paul Walker. He did not return for the sequel, but came back in 2009 with Fast and Furious, reviving the franchise. Despite his fame, Diesel keeps his personal life private. He has been in a relationship with model Paloma Jimenez since 2007, and they have 3 children. Their youngest daughter is named Pauline in honor of their late friend, Paul Walker. The bond between Vin and Paul. Vin Diesel and Paul Walker met on the first Fast and Furious movie set in the early 2000s. They quickly became friends and built a strong bond based on trust and respect. They weren't just co-stars. Vin admired Paul and loved cars and gaming. They often played World of Warcraft together while keeping their identities secret. Paul supported Vin during tough times and helped with family issues. Vin affectionately called him Pablo. The world was heartbroken when Paul died in a car accident at age 40. For Vin, losing Paul felt like losing a brother. Since then, he has honored Paul's memory by leading emotional tributes and sharing heartfelt messages on social media on Paul's birthday and the anniversary of his death. At the 2015 MTV Movie Awards, Vin paid tribute to Paul in front of many fans. At the F9 premiere, he reminded everyone that family never dies by inviting Meadow on stage. Their bond continues to grow stronger over the years. Vin becomes a father figure. Vin was always close to Meadow, but after Paul died, their relationship changed in unexpected ways. Vin never tried to replace her father. No one could do that. Instead, he became a steady support in her life, looking out for her the way Paul would have wanted. Vin took his role seriously. He called her family, referred to himself as Uncle Vin, and ensured she felt loved. On Meadow's birthdays, Vin sent messages reminding her that she was part of something bigger and that she wouldn't have to face life alone. Fans saw parts of their bond on social media, where Vin celebrated her milestones and included her in family gatherings. The most critical moments, however, were private and just for them. Meadow became a part of Vin's family, and his children treated her like their sister. Their bond was clear. Vin also helped Meadow honor her father's memory. He shared stories and memories from Paul's life. Even with their close relationship, Vin and Meadow chose to keep much of it private. They shared some moments with the public but protected the details of their bond. Vin's role in her life was not about replacing her father. He aimed to be a supportive presence she could always trust. In occasional interviews, Vin shared how much Meadow means to him. He talked about getting messages from her on Father's Day, reminders of their special connection. They both decided to honor Paul in their ways, honoring Paul's legacy. Just 2 years after Paul Walker passed away, his daughter Meadow wanted to honor her father's love for the ocean. On September 12, 2015, which would have been Paul's 42nd birthday, she started the Paul Walker Foundation. At only 16 years old, Meadow aimed to turn her sadness into something positive. Reflecting on my father, I found myself thinking about his passions. I wanted to start this foundation to share that piece of him with the world, she said. The foundation helps students and researchers in marine science by offering scholarships and funding environmental projects that match Paul's commitment to conservation. Throughout this journey, Vin Diesel and the Fast and Furious family have supported Meadow's mission. Vin has consistently promoted the foundation, attending events and spreading its message. Other cast members like Jordana Brewster and Tyrese Gibson have also shown their support, highlighting Paul's lasting influence. Besides his work in movies, Paul was also involved in helping others. He founded Reach Out Worldwide, which provides disaster relief. After his death, Vin and Meadow worked to continue this mission, quickly mobilizing aid after the 2015 earthquake in Nepal. Meadow remains active in the organization, ensuring her father's dedication to helping others continues. Vin Diesel regularly honors Paul's memory by promoting the causes he cared about, ensuring that Paul's humanitarian and film contributions stay inspiring and relevant. Meadow becoming a part of Fast and Furious. When Fast X came out in May 2023, fans were thrilled to see Meadow Walker make a cameo as a flight attendant with John Cena's character, Jacob Toretto. This moment was very emotional for Meadow because it paid tribute to her father, Paul Walker, who saw the Fast and Furious cast as his second family. She wanted her appearance to feel real and not distract from the story. Vin Diesel found her presence moving and described it as a connection between the past and the present. Although initially nervous, Meadow received a warm welcome from the cast and crew, especially from John Cena, who supported her throughout the experience. When fans recognized her, many shared emotional support on social media, saying that Paul would have been proud. Her cameo was carefully arranged by people close to Paul, including producer Brandon Bertel, and Vin Diesel worked hard to ensure its respect. However, her appearance also led to some controversies. While many admire the way she honors her father's legacy, many people admire how Meadow honors her father's legacy. However, some view her actions with suspicion. They suggest that her appearance in Fast X was more about getting attention than a tribute. Accusations of nepotism spread quickly, leading to online debates about her motivations. Meadow has said that her role was personal and meant to keep her father's spirit alive in a franchise he loved. Rumors have surrounded Meadow, including false claims that Vin Diesel formally adopted her after Paul Walker's death. In truth, Vin took on a protective role because of their friendship, not because of any legal obligation. Other strange rumors have also appeared, like fake romantic ties between them, but both Meadow and Vin have chosen not to respond to this speculation. As the daughter of a public figure, Meadow faces ongoing scrutiny. While many fans support her efforts to honor her father, some twist her story. She focuses on sharing meaningful moments to keep Paul's legacy alive. Vin also speaks respectfully about Meadow and Paul, highlighting their genuine bond. Speculation continues about Meadow's future in film and her relationship with Vin. Fans wonder if her cameo could lead to a bigger role. However, their connection is based on love and shared grief over Paul's loss.